Alright, so y'all haven't seen a video in quite some time, so we're just gonna get underway. This is gonna be the Orcust deck profile. I've been pretty much continuously editing it since its release, even before it was considered meta. So let's start off with the main monster. You're gonna run 3 of these. Machina Fortress, it's the starter, way better than the scrap engine in my personal opinion. If you don't already know what it does, it's new errata instead of when, it's if, so that fixes a lot of timing issues. You literally just discard it and then another machine, hence your Orcusts. You're gonna pretty much be able to +1. The reason being is you're dumping any of your Orcusts, which inherently banish themselves to do said things. You already should know that by now. Other than that, it has another great effect, so if it's pretty much targeted by an opponent's effect monster, then you get to look at their hand, discard a card. So they go -1, you go +1 just by using its own built-in effect. It's a random effect monster, so you can go easily Galatea. That's the main reason behind it. Other than that, it's also level 7 for BLS, so that's a good option there. Obviously, because we got rid of horror on the ban list, you're gonna have to run 3 Girsus. It's also great in its own Mekk-Knight engine, but for this fact, if it's normal or special summoned, you're already using the same effect of Armageddon Knight. You get to send any Dark Machine monster you want to the grave, and again, you get to plus also because if it's normal summoned or special summoned, besides that effect, and there's 2 cards that are in that column, he's treated as a tuner. It's not very common, but it's useful, I guess, if you want to make, like, you know, a token and then synchro play it, but other than that, it's just really nice. It's inherently a +1. So 3 of him. Next 3 of, obviously, I hope it gets banned. It's too much of an enabler, but 3 Orcust Knightmares. The thing you really got to worry about, besides its built-in effect of not destroying by linked monsters by battle, is it vanishes itself. You can pick any other Dark Machine in your deck, put it in the grave. So from there, again, continuous plussing to banish and proceed with bonus effects. The attack stat doesn't really help too much, but I mean, you're there for the vanishing, so why the heck not? Also, again, it's a high level, so BLS material. Next 3 of 3 skeletons. The main reason is it's a monster reborn. Banish it, pick your target. It reacts on your opponent's turn or your turn. Straightforward. Next 3 of, I want you to look closely at these 2 things I'm about to repoint out. Bombard. If you banish this, you special something from your hand. If you're using this with Fortress, you already get another +1 because you're specialing from your hand. You haven't even normal summoned yet. But I want you to check an important thing with their stats. Notice how it's 500 attack. Same thing with Knightmare. It has 100 attack. You're going to see why this is very important in my deck profile later. But 3 of those for now. That's also an Orcust monster, so you're really going to get out your links much quicker than you'd expect. It's really good for its own effect. You do 2 World Wand, because if you banish it, pick a banished machine, special summon it. Or, on top of that, if it's discarded on top of World Crown, you run 2 of. It's an extra monster, and it's an extra negate from a special summon monster your opponent controls. So there's a lot of benefits for running 2 and 2. More monsters, more pluses for you. After that, you're going to run, for now, 2 Ash Blossom. 3 was alright, but you don't want to get it too cloggy. So for now, 2's fine. It's pretty average for most decks to either add a card from your deck to your hand, maybe special something from the deck, or send a card from the deck to the grave. Literally almost all decks do that somehow, so 2's fine for now. You can have 1 Gearframe. It's already a nice normal summon. On top of the fact of you getting Fortress to plus later, you can attach it to a machine, built-in protection. Just a nifty little gimmick. Of course, Armageddon Knight. Again, forget the scrap engine. If your opponent ashes your scrap, you know, recycler, what are you going to do? You're going to have a little baby body on board. It's kind of bad. Infinite impermanence. There's a lot of scary things. So run better options. Yeah, you can go into Scrap Wyvern and all that, but honestly, Fortress is your way better play. It's inherently its own better effect. Why normal when you can special summon? 1 of each, because that's where we're at right now. Honestly, I didn't even run that much back then. I ran 2 Jackalope, I ran 2 Nessie, and 1 Tsuchi, but 1 each. You can special summon defense, inherently special summon Tsuchinoko, or add something from your deck to your hand. So just 1 of each is fine for now. This could be replaced with whatever you want. It's a great side deck option. Your opponent's not going to expect it. If nothing else, you potentially get a +1 if they call the wrong card in your hand. To wrap off the monsters, 1 Sphere mode. Yeah, your opponent's probably going to be massive board setting, and they're going to try to have all these negates. It's pretty common nowadays, so just wipe their board and play what you want to play, honestly. After that, you only need 2 Babel. 3's okay, but you don't need to go off that far because your other monsters are probably going to get this out on the field quick enough. But this makes all of your Orcusts on the field pretty much quick effects and in the grave. So why not just run 2? This one's going to be a little awkward, but Foolish Burial Goods. What am I going to be sending to the grave? If you don't already know, it's probably going to be Crescendo. Maybe mid-late game you could dump whatever else you want to thin out your deck, but Crescendo not only is a negate, but the bigger one a lot of people may have forgotten about is you can literally banish this at any point your opponent's turn, or you get a Dark Machine from your deck to your hand, or it's not just from your deck to your hand, you can also get one of your banished monsters. So Dark Machines, remember this, you're locked into Dark Machine monsters the turn you use this effect. So literally if you have absolutely no monster in your hand, you can literally grab almost anything from your deck to your hand, or plus however you want from there. So that's why I'm running those. You need to go off, so for now 2 Called by the Graves is fine. Play at the right time, your opponent's going to kind of get stuck. Everyone's kind of trying to lay less on the hand traps, but here's what was important again. Machine Dupe. Remember what I just said about Bombard and Knightmare? Unbelievable that their stats are kind of low enough to make this work. So you could just literally dump that first turn, or even going second. Yeah, you're probably going to get ashed, but it's great ash bait. If nothing else, you're going to plus by having all these extra monsters, a thinner deck, and blessing turn after turn. This is a great setup card. I don't know why no one else is running this. Obviously, a Foolish Burial. Send anything to the grave, start banishing your combos. This one's an awkward one, but I really think it should come back. Swords of Revealing Light. Nowadays, everyone's just setting up these negates and stuff, but if your opponent can't really attack you, and they need to be forced to get rid of this card, it's nice while you try to synergize and do your own combos. They're wasting their resources trying to take care of you while you can just get over them. 1's fine. Obviously 2, it's literally Pot of Greed. Send stuff to the grave, whether you control it or in your hand, it's fine, you're gonna plus. Why not run just 2? 3 is way too many in my opinion, so don't run more than 2. You already saw it, but more than Crescendo. As long as you got the Orcust link, you're gonna be negating either a spell trap or monster effect, so that's pretty much always happening nowadays. Might as well use it at the right time. But for me personally in this build, you're banishing it to add whatever you want and you don't have yet. So now we're going to go over to the extra deck, 1 Linkuriboh. That's because your new Mekk-Knight monster summons a level 1 until we get something else better. Relinquish is okay. Linkuriboh is just so much more beneficial because it's an effective monster to eventually go into potentially your Masquerena. So 1 Linkuriboh. And then after that, you run obviously 2 Galatea, and maybe it gets limited, maybe it gets banned. Honestly, I wouldn't be fine if it's banned. But if you don't already know what it does, the link card can't be destroyed by battle. You can target one of your banished machines, you put it in the deck, and you're going to set a spell or trap. Usually, in my opinion, you're going to go for either the Crescendo, but otherwise Return is honestly what I go for. Plus more in your hand, benefit later. You're already going to go into Girsu to get rid of the token on your opponent's side of the field, so why not just leave it at 2 for now? 1 Masquerena because obviously on the opponent's turn go into something. More commonly they're going to get hit by battle or get infinite impermanence, so it's kind of great bait regardless. Other than that, whatever you're going into, it's going to be protected from being destroyed by opponent's card effects. Here's a spicy tech, Doublebyte Dragon. A lot of you may or may not know what it does. The biggest one is not the gaining attack equal to the link ratings used for the material, but it's period unaffected by monster effects. Super broken. And then on top of the other effect of being except link monster effects, it can't be destroyed by battle except with a link monster, so you're forcing your opponent to link and go into this, and it's already going to be a beefy boy on average 3k. Try to get over that. Obviously 1 Knightmare Phoenix. This could be arguably swapped with like Cerberus or whatever else you really want. Yeah, there's like a link one you can go into that's new. I forget, it's like Protocol Gardena, I think, but honestly, fit it for what you want. Of course, usually people would have 1 Girsu. Standard issue. 1 BLS Soldier of Chaos. Go for the more attack gain, because the more and more you power it up, your opponent's going to get harder and harder to get rid of it. Also, you have a lot of plenty high level monsters to go into this if you didn't already know that. Not as common to go nowadays, but Bombard Dragon, you can benefit on your turn or your opponent's. Just get rid of a random Orcust you want, special summon in the link zone, and then blow up their main monster zone. Pretty simple. This is a standard package as well, Boar Lord and Boar Sword, nothing to be said, you attack twice, or you just take Absorb a Monster and continue on with your plays. This one's awkward, never defend with Avermax. If you're going in with this, usually you want to use Masquerena and maybe like your basic Galatea. The reason being is you're going to get a huge Honest effect, that's all it does. It's Honest plus you have to be having your opponent forced to attack Avermax. It's a big beefy boy. I might eventually swap that out for the new access code talker, but that's for a later topic of debate. And then to wrap it off, to Girsus, because you're more commonly just going to be sending something on their field of the grave or reattaching and protecting yourself. It's just overall a great rank 8. And then this one's going to be awkward, don't question me, but Ally Justice Catastor. Again, remember what I said about the new Mekk-Knight Orcust? Girsu is pretty much going to allow you to single-handedly summon a token and itself, and then from there, sink into 5, you get this Catastor. Usually pretty good again to Adamantipator or anything else that's not running Dark. Yeah, there's a lot of Dark effect monsters. The rest of your monsters are going to run over those. Use this guy in replacement. It's an effect monster. Maybe make Masquerena, up to you. But remember, if you're using Crescendo, you're locked into Dark Machines. And then from there, now we're going to go into the side deck. For now it's not too prominent, but I believe Lancia is the right call. A lot of people need a banish to do their plays. Just use Lancia, it's very easy to counter whatever they're trying to do. Draw and Lockbird, a lot of people still like to add stuff, unless I see fit otherwise with another, maybe Ash Blossom. Again, up to you. Fit your meta, fit your locals, fit your regionals, maybe even worlds, whatever you want to do. You add one card, you're done. After that, of course, 2 or 3 is good, but 1, the Primal Big Nibiru, of course, it's great against, like, you know, the eligible plays that are comboing off, or any other deck, really. You punish them at the right time. What are they going to do? Sit on a rock and then you just get rid of them or send it? So that's fine right there. As for another thing, I really believe the next best up is Ghost Bell on Haunted Mansion. Yeah, we have another new one that's a hand trap, but honestly, your opponent's probably going to be adding a card from their deck or their extra deck, you know, back from the grave, or their special monster from the grave, and it's just the secondary Ash, so why not run 2? This one's weird. I haven't really finished the complete finish slot, but Possess Storage, mid-late game if you're going 2. Machina Fortress is in the grave. Yeah, it doesn't use its effects that turn, but it's just an additional body. You can go into any other kind of like Link 2. That's really its use right there. Mind Control belongs in the side deck. You don't main deck that unless you're focused on going second, because what if you just dead draw it? It's not useful game 1. It really isn't. So try to focus on what you're doing. A lot of great cards for Hey Trunade. Opponent's probably going to be setting stuff, so that's great against Altergeist, Eldritch, you know, maybe Sky Striker if you're really countering that, because a lot of people are going to want to get spiced up. People got finally familiarized with the effect Valor access code talker I've been talking about way before the person even got first, so focus on Hey Trunade. Other than that, 2 infinite permanents. Again, I'm not usually going second deck, but it's good to be in the side deck, because then if you make the right call, swap the right stuff out, negate what your opponent has, you're going to profit more than they will. Also, why not just run 2 evenly matched? It's plain and straightforward. Get rid of their field, use it as a hand trap, and you're done. Other than that, that's pretty much the deck profile and the side deck. If you've got any questions or comments, let me know in the link description down below. I'm going to be posting pretty much the whole list on top of that. Comment what your favorite deck is, what you're using right now. Also, I want to know what your favorite card is for this new Eternity code. Other than that, I appreciate y'all watching and look forward to the next video.